So I was doing my devotional yesterday, and there was a particular word that I got stuck on. Um, it was talking about trusting and depending on God. And that word depend just, I don't know, it just kept ringing out in my mind. And so one of the things that occurred to me, I was like, is I know DE is a prefix for a lot of words, and I was like, is that the case for the word depend? And I'm very much into words and their meanings, etymology, and whatnot. So I'm often, looking up, the Greek definition of words, even in Hebrew definition of words when it comes to the Bible, but even just, the American dictionary, Oxford dictionary, and different resources to look up even the meaning of words as we know them. And so what I discovered was that the prefix DE means off or from. And the word pinned means to hang. And so I thought about that and was like, oh, wow, to hang from. Huh. And I thought about that in terms of what my devotional was encouraging me to do with respect to depending on God. And the picture that came to my mind was like a rope spanning across like a great valley, right? Or an abyss. And there I am um hanging on that rope. And I'm depending on that rope. I'm trusting that rope to support me, to sustain me, to help me get from point A to point B. And it made me think about, what exactly is it that I am trusting to support me? What am I putting my trust in? Who am I putting my trust in to help me, support me, sustain me, help me get from point A to point B, to keep me from falling uh into traps, trials, temptation. Um so and I thought about it even further, thinking about the fact, going with the whole rope thing is, a rope consists of many different fibers woven together. It's not just like one string. And I thought about that in the sense that, if I were to evaluate and analyze my rope, if you will, to analyze and evaluate what it is that I'm trusting in and hanging on to and hanging from, what is it about um those fibers consist of, who I associate with, the things that I'm feeding my mind and my soul, um the things that, obviously that I think, the things that I'm depending on, that's what makes up my rope that I'm hanging from. And so I had to ask myself, like, do the fibers of my rope consist of the things of God? Am I hanging from? Am I trusting in God's word and his promises? Or am I holding on to my own understanding, my own desires, and or what the world says I should be doing, or who I should be, and what I should do? And so I just wanted to share that with you and leave that with you. When we talk, thinking about trusting God and depending on God, um, what are you hanging on to? What are you hanging from? What is it that you're relying on to keep you afloat, to keep you supported and uplifted? and to get you from point A to point B? Who and what do you depend on?